I am now in Euston Street in Greenore, but it looks the street's getting narrower as we've an awful lot of trees which are not on their own property. They're taking over the street. We know the trees are very good for cleaning the air up, sucking in the carbon dioxide, but just see very bad residents there, Eire and Wilson's at the top. Now if we go down to this end of the street, they need to be looked at because the residents have a lovely job done. The far side of the street, they're all cut very orderly along the road coming down, and we turn round now to a house here. It's owned by it was former teacher school house once upon a time. There's a lot of stuff here over the road. It's coming from this house on the pavement, and if it's not checked, all this is going to get worse by the next season. We now look at here, the former National School Broadway bar. There's quite a lot of vegetation over your roof here. As a matter of fact, you can hit your head, and in a while you might hit your eye, and if you fall you might be looking for a claim from the council. So the place could be tidied up well and made a good job. The dirt in the house is terrible with the port, the dust, and the roofs are all contaminated. It's destroyed them. A major clean-up would want to be done. You can see it on the brickwork there, it's kind of going yellow with the stuff at the port. And also you're breathing it into your lungs because copad, I have a touch of that, and since this dust is here in Greenore, if you're in it most of the time, you're breathing it in, you open your windows, and it's pretty terrible. However, we're now moving down the street, and we're outside what used to be the Co-op, Larkins. I notice here that we were on Victorian footing here, which to me is terrible. You can't wash it, and at Larkins the man who promoted Victorian footpads has a cement footpad, which is easier to wash. It could only be washed now, cleaned up, but it takes time and expense, you see that. So it's very hard to wash the other footpad, which we've been put on the street, and I don't think individual residents had a say in it. It was stuck down, terrible job. So right in the Greenore Co-op property, the man that promoted this Victorian thing, unfortunately hasn't got Victorian footpads, as they call it. Now we come along the street, some of those nice flowers tied on the wall. The whole footpads are all in need of kind of a hosing, because they'll become very slippy when you get a bit of frost, etc. And I don't know whether they're going to be cleaned this year. I put bleach in mine, or weed killer, but mine's round the back. So now we're at what we used to call Barney Dullingan's or Mattis's corner. I see there's a brick at the door. I wonder what that signifies. So we're now going round here. There's a hole also, which is a sitting trick. Someone may trip on it, and Louth County Council will be liable. You can put your foot in that easy at night. Now we come along to Anglesea Terrace, fairly well kept in front of the four red brick houses, as we call them. There's a lane just on my way to that, the back of the, not too bad in the lane, a bit of grass up the middle of it, but it wouldn't be bad. We're now coming up to the entrance of the golf links, and number 15 Anglesea Terrace. So I'm just getting the sun in my eyes here. That's very hard to see what I'm aiming at. But now we come to the secretary of the residence. They're doing a good job in front here. They have a nice job with flowers and a wild life. I hope they don't mean wildlife like we used to have from the Broadway bar. But now we're going to Anglesea Terrace. It's nice here at the first four houses. And then there's some type of football fence on the footpath. It's not a football pitch here, and no one has a right to put that up without consulting everybody. There's some lovely flowers that pass here, and there's lovely flowers with these houses. Now it's nice, but we've had trouble with it with footballs before. I had a door busted with a football, marks on a car, a bonnet bent, dinged. The football was even marked on the door. That was a few years back. But we don't want to see football here. They could easily be played down the shore, wherever they like. Traditionally, football was played the far side of that park we're now looking at. That's where we played football. So, we're now going up some nice plants here at these houses. We're at now number 8, Anglesea Terrace. 7. No, it's not too bad. The whole bloody weed of the stuff of the port is landed on the ground. You get a lot of pollution in your cars at night. And as I say, you open your house windows, you'll have quite a lot of dust, which I'll be showing you more of within the next week or so. Now, hedges are cut enough. There's a dump at the other end of the street, covered with hedges. I'd seen people dumping on it. They were shouting about dumping, and it's unfortunate. It's in the Golf Links Park. But however, the park isn't that big of a problem. Just that there is a problem with the trees, of course. The trees shed an awful lot of pines in the winter, and they come onto the road, and then onto across our houses, into our gardens, and into our boats.